Come on, Kim, let us go. There he still is, looking right through with rain. Alright. We're now at 58%. Shit compressed. What's the bet? That won't... Oh, I did it. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons. Do they always do that? They do after 7 days, yes. We're deep in decomposition here. Step closer. Man before you was naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. Inspect the boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white strands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots, they're armour, possibly part of a larger set. These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armour he was stripped of. Indeed, with his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Nerd! Oh, the lieutenant uses a Mnemotechnique A6. That's not just any notebook, it's a classic. Forget about the notebook, tell me about the armour. Clearly some manner of super armour, or future armour. Super future armour, I'm useless. What kind of armour is this exactly? Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide most likely. This is where the make would be. Where? Under the heel. Fair weather, he turns the boot slightly. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Where is the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals? He nods. Piece by piece, he's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. Surely the boots would have been the first to go. Where is the rest of the armour? We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armour could yield information. He nods towards Kuno. Maybe he'll know something. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the armour? No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not strip him for putrid rags. What if they told him to strip before they hung him, to demean him? They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmertes and the like. This one still has his underpants. Fucking talking about underpants. Clearly Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to. The material looks out of place here. It is, it's expensive. The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger. We've requested similar material for our tactical unit for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. How much are we talking about? For a full set, about 4 years of wages. For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 ayal, unadjusted for rank. Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots. By ka-ching do you mean, he tilted his head, let's not log them as evidence, let's steal them? No, that's not what I meant. Of course, he nods. Lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter. How could this man afford such expensive hardware? That's for us to find out. He checks his notes. Mr. Garter implies he was a security personnel for the harbour company. This confirms my own assumptions. Initial report? Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same. These look pretty advanced for a security guard. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. Knock on the boot. A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Sounds fragile. It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. He points to the boots. See? Faint organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them all together. Like walls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps. What does this remind me of? If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. Run your fingers over the lines. A smooth glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton where you notice the whorls are in a shape of the letter and number combination. E50 100 1000. Point to it. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton. Good. Can you read it to me? He tips the drying ballpoint of his pen on his tongue. X5417562. Let's lie. Drama. Let's lie. Wait a minute. So I've seen that. And then is drama lying to me? No. I'm going to do this. We have a make it a number that's something. We can use the radio and my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us. Okay. pull the boot off. The stench fills your nostril as you push downward. An ominous creaking sound comes from above. Stop! The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm. Pig's gonna pull his head off. Brutal. Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it? You're going to pull his head off. Do it, homo! I'm going to pull his head off, right? Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do, so please don't. Visual calculus. Indeed, from this angle it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on that boot? Are we not detectives? There may be clues inside the boot. How many clues do you need? You already found the number. Besides, he taps on the boot. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They're fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet? Thank you for answering my question why the boots were still there. You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. Do I want the boots? Nah, I'm an honourable guy. Steal a dead man's boot, but that would be dishonourable. Refuse for honour. Alright then, you can pay the hostel bill in honour points. How many honour points have you collected? Oh wait, do I need 30 of these? There are honour points? Of course there aren't, don't be naive. What's going to happen to the boots then? Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue it will yield nothing, but we must pick our fights. He looks towards the boots. Should we continue? Back off and look at corpse. Oh, I've got all this still. Inspect the belt. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under six-rotor airships. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo. Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so. He nods. The local harbour uses six rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. We're assuming the dock workers did it? I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. He politely raises an eyebrow. You? Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next. We all are. He covers his nose. This belt worries me. They sure wanted him to stay up there. I was afraid it would be... He rises to inspect the noose. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. How did they even get him up there? A noose is one of those things that's easy to use one way round. He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle. He makes a pulling motion. Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. Alright, inspect the tattoos. The intricate web of blue lines stretches across the the torso. From the right shoulder to the solar plexus, each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. Is this a national pattern? Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocent worship, but which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure. We're missing something here. I agree. A sudden ring fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. Takes a thin-peeled piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. It sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera. Let the lieutenant work. Shit, Kuno, what the fuck's that? An instant color camera. He produces two metal capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there. I have only two ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one. He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting, then... Whoa. Boom. A sound shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of colour pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper rolling out. On it, a colour-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. In case we need it, the lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cool wind. Cool machine. Yes, he slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. It is pretty cool, isn't it? There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely. What do we need this photo for? It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell. Sure, just don't lose it. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. Okay, look him in the eye. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head, his face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed, what remains is an unrecognizable mess. 28% white check. Tell me, who are you, dead man? corpse is dead silence. You have no idea why you just said that. Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build. Squint and take a step back. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Observe. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue, his fatted hands, thighs and his neck just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air. His face and hands are pink, thighs too. I see it. He adjusts his glasses, his neck too, the lividity goes right up to his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here. The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of colour coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot. I think he's dead. I agree. His personality is no longer a part of the world. Totally dead. I'm going to go for this one. The world no longer stores his personality and its composition. There was a time for that and it ended 7 days ago. He nods in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization. Having mulled it over, the lieutenant says, that sounds about right, yes. I think he was upright after death. Agreed. He points to the belt, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging. Could it still be he was moved after death? What is this, Jeffrey Epstein? There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first. Something's coming out of him. A pool of blood and feces is eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it drop by drop. The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death. The fuck he's saying? F's talking about shit? Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death. Maybe he doesn't really want to dwell on it too long. He's beaten up, see the bruises. I do, most of them are post-mortem, maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport. Stop talking in riddles, coin slot. He means you fucked him up good, Kuno, the girl says. Fucked him up brutal like. So how do we get him down? He stops to think, then checks his notes. Are you sure we've finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss something these things once he's down. Step back and have another look first? No. Yep, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there.